Hello, my name is Randy and I'm here to tell you about Alkavida. Alkavida is a line of products offering alkaline drinking water, whole house filters, shower heads, anything to do with treating water for your personal consumption, grooming needs, and for your house, cleaning your water and filtering for your pipes. Alkavida is a network of products based on good drinking water technology. What we do, different from what you may have heard in the past, years and years ago, alkaline drinking water was always based on machines with electronic technology. They plug into the wall, they do a pretty good job, they make alkaline water and they remove chlorine. However, our equipment filters the water, which none of the electric machines do. So what we're going to do today is give you a demonstration of how our equipment compares to one of the electric machines. We actually have several of them here. All the technology works the same, so whether we show you one or the other, our purpose of demonstration here is to show you the differences of the technology, not the different makers of the machines. What we do is we reproduce water the way it's done in nature. You may have heard of healing springs such as Lourdes, France, La Côte, Mexico, Nordenau, Germany, where the water is known as healing or holy water because the people there have enjoyed good health for many, many generations, and through word of mouth and their own experiences, they've found that their health is much better than the majority of people in surrounding areas. What happens now is people from all around the world will go to places, say Lourdes for example, and they'll get water and bring it home to a loved one who is ill or in need of anything to boost their health, and they give it to them looking for a betterment of their health. Unfortunately, it rarely happens because water passes through our body so quickly that to enjoy the benefits of the alkaline water, you really have to have it every day. It's something that comes in and goes out constantly. So it's something that's more of a lifestyle rather than thought of as a tonic, for example. What we're going to show you today is some common things that people drink. And the reason we're doing this is to show you what happens when you drink products that are acidic in their pH. Our pH can either be acid or alkaline. And many, many studies over the years have shown that people who have a lot of acid in their bodies tend to have diminished health. It seems to, many people feel it aggravates inflammation. There are many studies that show that it can contribute to the growth of cancer and the development of cancer. Can add to arthritis. Of course, everybody's different and everybody's affected differently. And not everybody agrees with natural approaches, but we feel that a combination of good health, lifestyle, and especially water is important to our well-being and overall health. Let's just back up just a second here. 75 to 80% of our body is water. It's a universal solvent. Everything comes into your cells and is carried out of your cells is carried by water. So in my opinion, and the opinion of many people, especially those who are holistic and into health and whole body wellness, believe that the best thing they can do is to have clean water to keep us clean and detox. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the company, but right now I'm going to stop and set up a test because this takes a few minutes to work. So this is called a precipitation test. What this is, we're going to take 3 samples of water. I'm going to take tap water, water from an electric alkalizing machine, and water from our Alkavida equipment. What I'm going to do is fill these up with water, and we're going to add some chemicals here that are going to have the solids precipitate out as if they're raining out from the water to the bottom of these tubes. And the solids that are dissolved in the water that you won't be able to see until we do this test will collect here, and you'll be able to see what's in the water. So what I'm going to do is do these one at a time. First, I'm going to get tap water, which is coming from this source right here. So we have some tap water here. Now I'm going to get from one of the electric machines. So this is water from one of the electric machines. And this is water from our Alkavida mineral alkalizing. Again, where we are different, first we filter the water, and after it goes through the first stage of filtration, Then we add minerals to it to make it alkaline. So what I'm going to do is put 5 drops each of these chemicals in here, and we're going to mix them up and we're going to let them stand. Again, tap water, electric alkaline water, mineral water from Alkavida, or mineralized alkaline. So we're putting 5 drops each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can do the same with the second chemical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. We're going to mix these guys up a little bit. We're going to let them stand, and then we'll get back to this later. Shake them up a bit. Okay, that one's there. So we're going to mix this one. Okay, and we're going to let these stand here for a while. What we're doing here is illustrating the difference between alkaline water created by electricity and alkaline water created by minerals, the way it's done in nature, which is what we do. But first, I want to show you some common things that people drink and what the pH is. The reason we're showing you this is we want to have the things in our body that go in to be an alkaline pH. When we're born as babies, the amniotic fluid even is alkaline pH. As we age and get older, we get stressed, we kind of degrade with age, pollution in the air, pollution in the water, not the best kind of diet, lack of sleep. All these things in our modern lifestyle tends to generate acid. Our emotions will make us acidic. And what tends to happen is our body gets acidic and the waste and the toxins build up. It irritates our organs, causing our immune system to be somewhat depressed. This is one of the reasons the springs around the world, like I mentioned earlier, like Lourdes, France, has a reputation of healing water. It's not that the water heals you, it doesn't. But what the alkaline water does is help balance the alkaline waste, get our body back to the way it's designed to be, using good water from nature or nature's processes that's clean, and that will allow your immune system to thrive and go to its strength that it's supposed to be, and it'll be more efficient and do a better job fighting disease. So what the alkaline water helps to contribute to do is your immune system to heal you. It's not any kind of a miracle at all. It just gives our body what we're designed to use. God did a great job designing our bodies, but unfortunately we put stuff in it that it's not really designed to work with. And here's an example of some of the things we're going to do. I'm going to test 3 different kinds of common bottled waters here. What I'm here to show you is these are all pretty clean water and none of them have chlorine. Many people drink bottled water. I think the majority of you watching this probably don't like to drink out of the tap if you have a choice. Everybody knows that tap water is contaminated with heavy metals, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, hormones from medication, radiologicals, organics, all kinds of different things that can get in the water. Any municipality is going to have issues with clean water. So I think right now we're all aware of what's happening in Flint, Michigan with the lead contamination. This is May 2016, and that's been in the news quite a bit lately. So we all kind of recognize the fact that we have to be our own advocate and watch out what goes in our bodies. And this is one way to make a big difference in that. So what I've got here, I'm going to go over all these things I'm showing. These are 3 types of commonly available bottled water. This is a clear soda. This represents all different sodas. We use this so it won't have color to contaminate the test. This is a sports drink. We also get a clear version for the same reason. This represents all the different sports drinks. We're not here to pick on any one brand or any one style. It's just the type of drink that it is. And this is our Alkavida water. What I'm going to do is put a pH tester in here. And if you can look at this chart, this is neutral. This is 7.0. This is neither acid nor alkaline. Anything below here going green to yellow to red is acid. We don't want to go that way. Acid, again, like I mentioned, this is the one that creates toxins from bad food, sugar, fried food, white flour, all those bad things are good, healthy foods, and we want our body to be here to the blue to purple range of the water we drink and when we test this. So what I'm going to do is put 3 drops each in here, and we're going to see how they stack up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, same 3, and our water. As you can see, this, according to the color chart, is somewhere between a 4 and a 5. I'm going to say about a 4.5 pH. That's pretty acidic, actually. This one, not quite as bad. This is around a 6. So it's a little better than the previous one. This, same thing, about a 5 maybe. So what the point of this illustrates, as far as the water goes, I'm going to pause for a minute. All your bottled water is made from municipal source, run through reverse osmosis. There are a couple of spring waters out there. They're not too easy to find, and they're very expensive. I can't mention them by names, but it's not economical to drink it every day. Half a liter is like $3. These are 2 of the premium waters. This is an inexpensive water. Anytime you run water through reverse osmosis, you remove everything in the water, good and bad minerals. The water becomes alkaline through the addition of minerals in nature. So when you remove these through the process of reverse osmosis, you're left with water that has a tendency to be acid. With our sodas here, because of the sugar and all the things to make it fizz, this is about maybe almost a 4.0 pH. This is seriously acidic stuff. Same with the sports drink. A lot of people give these to their kids when they're doing sports. This is a good 4.0. This is very acidic. Not good for the teeth either. This is our water, straight out of our bottle. This is somewhere around a 9.0 pH. What we're looking for a color for good water is anywhere between a nice medium blue to a purple. Anything in that range is where we want to go, which is about a pH 8 to 9.5. Anywhere in that range is a good range for us. Now, say you're out in a restaurant and you ask for water. More than likely, you're not going to get alkaline water. But let's just say you embrace this idea and you want to keep your body alkaline. So when you get home, after drinking the restaurant water, you can have the Alkavida water and you're alkaline again. This will work with any of the waters or a tap water. Either one, doesn't matter. When you get home or you get back in your car and you have your water, whatever the case may be, you have the option of going alkaline right away, which is nice. Now, if you had a soda in the restaurant, we got a little different story here. This is so acidic, to get it back to neutral pH, not even alkaline, to neutral, takes 30 to 1. So when you drink soda or a sports drink, same thing. About a 30 to 1 ratio. It stays in your body for several days and contributes to acid buildup. So what we tell people is, if you smoke, the best thing you can do for your health is stop smoking. If you don't smoke, the best thing you can do for your health is don't drink sodas. Any of them. We're not here to bash any particular brand, but you can see by what I just showed you what you're doing to your body. This acid waste is not very good for you. You can Google effects of acid buildup in the body. You will see all kinds of third-party verification that it is not very good for you. Now, what I'm going to also do is show you the difference in the cleanliness of the water between the electric technology and our Alkavida technology. With the electric machines, and we have several of them here, all of them work on the same principle. Again, this is not to talk about any brand or any particular manufacturer. All the electric machines use similar technology. As the tap water goes through the machine and runs through a carbon filter which removes chlorine, goes through a series of plates or grids that add electric current, that makes the water alkaline, then it comes out and you have your alkaline water. So as far as creating alkalinity, most of the electric machines are good in that respect. They're good at removing chlorine. However, they do not clean the water anywhere near as good as our Alkavida equipment. What I have here is called a TDS meter. TDS is total dissolved solids. That means the solids in the water that are dissolved that aren't visible to the naked eye are measured here in the ratio of solids in parts per million. So that means for every million parts of water, this is going to measure how many solids are in there by parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test 4 different kinds of water. I'm going to test tap water, the electric alkaline water. I'm going to test our water when we go through the first stage to filter it, which will be reverse osmosis, which will make it acid. Then I'll test it again as we go through the second stage and add minerals. And you'll see when we add the minerals, the solids will go back up, and that'll prove what we say is true about adding minerals to our water. So what I'm going to do first is test some good old Valencia tap water. I live about 2 miles from here, so I'm familiar with it. A lot of minerals in it. You see this? Just under 600 parts per million. Now these are total dissolved solids. I'm looking at I'm going to say 590. Okay. The electric alkaline water, and we're going to get some of this and run it through here. I'm going to rinse it out, make sure we get all that tap water out. I'm going to give it a fair test here. Okay. Then here is our electric alkaline water. This is I am looking at about a 585. From a 590 to 580, 585, something like that. So as you can see here, less than 2% of the solids in the water have been removed. Again, they do a good job removing chlorine, creating alkaline water, but as far as cleaning solids, you can see it right here. We're looking at less than 2% removed. So what we're going to do now, this is our Alkavida unit. For the purposes of demonstration, we have a 2-way faucet. We do this so we can show you we have a 2-stage system. We clean the water with reverse osmosis. After it's cleaned, then we alkalize it with minerals. So we have this faucet on here to where we can intercept it at the first stage when it's clean, and then after it's mineralized. Now I'm going to rinse out all that other contaminated water so we get ours a fair test. Put a little more in here, and then here's our readings. Again, this is the first stage of our water. I don't know if you can even see the movement, but for where I am, it's about a 15 or a 20 parts per million. This is coming from 590 so parts per million down to maybe 15. So you see probably approximately 99% plus has been removed. So now that the water is clean, we're ready to alkalize it. Again, reverse osmosis water, if we didn't alkalize it, it would be acidic right now, just like that bottled water. Now we're going to use our water. I'm going to rinse out the reverse osmosis water, and we're going to show you the increase in the solids from the minerals that we put back in. So here we go. Now we've moved up to approximately 50. I'll do it again. There's not a lot of movement here, so it's kind of hard to see. But remember before we were about 15, now we're about 60. So the point is, what this shows you, to go from clean water to good alkaline water, you're looking at about a 50 part per million amount of minerals added to your water versus what came out of the other one, almost 600 parts per million. Now, one other test we're going to do here is also a test to show solids, but we're going to do it a little differently. This is called an oxidation test. What this is going to do, we're going to use electricity to oxidize the solids in the water that you can't see And they're going to turn dark so you can see it with the naked eye, and we're going to compare the electric water to our Alkavida water, and this will show solids in the water, again referring to the cleanliness and decontamination of the water. So here we go with some electric water. We're going to let this run. I'm going to rinse the cup out, get it clean, let the hose clean out of the machine. Get a good sample of water here. So here is the electric water, electric alkaline water. And here is the second stage of ours. After the first stage of reverse osmosis, this is a stage where we've added the minerals. Again, it's a two-step process. Now this one's going to take a couple of minutes, but I'm going to ask for your patience to watch this because it's going to happen in real time here. These are probes that put electricity in the water, and the water with the most solids will pass the most current, and the solids will turn color so you can see them. Right now, if you're in a restaurant and they brought you this water, it looks like regular water. There's really nothing looks out of sorts with it. So now, we're going to turn this on, and the water is going to react to the current. One of the side effects, as it were, of this is the one you can see. One is reacting quite a bit more already. This will get very hot. What happens is more electricity is passed in the water, it'll generate heat. And part of that heat will change these solids and turn them to color so you can see what's actually in this water. So if you'll bear with me for a minute, you can probably see it's starting to make a change. There's beginning to be an obvious difference between the two. But we're going to let it go for a little bit. While I'm here letting this thing cook, I'll do a little more reference to our company here. Whenever we build our products, all the plastics we use, all the metal we use is virgin material. That's required by California for anything that touches water or food. None of our raw materials that are used in our equipment, anything that actually touches the water, is a recycled material. It is virgin material. Our leftovers, our cuttings, are sold back to the suppliers to be reintegrated in their other products and sold to somebody else. You have to pay a lot of money for that. It's not easy to get, but that's what we have, and that's why we have the quality that we have. I think Alkavida is state-of-the-art. In my own experience of several years in this business, I have seen nothing that even comes close to our products or their performance. And we think we're the best thing out there right now. You know, when we talk about the difference of technology between the electric and the mineralized alkaline, I like to, as a rough analogy, I liken it to propeller planes or jets. If you want to fly from the west to the east coast, you can jump in a propeller plane and get there in about 12 hours. It'll cost you a lot for gasoline, but you'll get there. Or you can go to an airline, hop on a jet, and get there in 5 hours, and it's cheaper. That's what everybody does. It's not that the old technology is bad, just the new technology is better. That's why our approach to this business and our approach to our competitors is not one of being negative about their products. We're just positive about what we do because we're unique and we're the leader in this field and we're proud of what we do. That's why we take a positive approach. We don't need to say anything bad about anybody else. The proof is in these tests. One of the things you'll probably notice, this is, I don't know if you can tell from that angle, but there's a myriad of different colors here. Where this tends to have the same color, it looks almost like green tea you would get in a restaurant. Reason being, our minerals are calcium, magnesium, and potassium. That's what we use. So it's all going to look about the same because they're all related. They're natural electrolytes for the body. One of the side effects of drinking our water is it has a tendency to keep those levels of those three elements in your body at good levels. If you drink bottled water or reverse osmosis water, say like the things you do the refill at the market, things like that, those minerals, are water soluble. So some people have a tendency to have those leach out. If you drink bottled water, our suggestion would be, whenever you see your physician for your normal checkup, ask if maybe a mineral supplement would be good. I think we can stop this test right now. And this shows you, I know you can't tell or see the steam off this, but this one, well, you can see the cup is starting to distort. This is from the heat generated in here. And this is our water. It's still below room temperature. This one, again, to me, looks like an awful algae smoothie or something. I can't really tell you what's in here. Even the water company can't tell you what's in here. Generally, in most municipalities around the U.S., over 170 different pharmaceuticals are found in our water. There's hormones from birth control, there's radiologicals, there's industrial waste, petroleum waste, heavy metals, all kinds of things in our water. Fertilizers and pesticide from agricultural runoff. The thing is, and the point is, we don't know what's in the tap water, even your water company doesn't know. They have an idea, but what we have to do is be our own advocate. Our health and our well-being is up to us. And one of the biggest single things we can do for our overall well-being is to have clean water. Now, what we're going to also do here, I think this test is probably settled down a bit. You know, what we have here, if you can see this, is the sediments in this water. This is a tap water sample, are collecting at the bottom of this tube. About the last quarter inch here, it looks like almost like powdered sugar. Now our next sample is the electric alkaline water. And here's the solids right here. Not really much of a difference. Like our TDS test showed you earlier with the meter, only filters maybe 1%. And here's our Alkavida water. You can see there's nothing on the bottom. There's a little bit of cloudiness to it because of the minerals that are dissolved, but there is no solids or contaminants collecting on the bottom of this at all. Now here's a kicker about this test. Let's go back to the electric alkaline water. People are supposed to drink between 2 and 3 liters of water every day. This test is about 25 milliliters. So to make a liter of water is approximately 40 of these. This bunch of solids here in the bottom, for a liter, is going to be 40 times this. So what, it's going to be somewhere up in here, and then times 2 or 3 liters a day. You're looking at, if I got this right here, and it seems pretty obvious to me, that if you're multiplying this times 40 and then times 2 or 3, you're getting the equivalent of almost one of these things worth of solids every day. Go through your stomach, your liver, your kidneys, your colon, and they don't know what it is. Nobody really knows what it is. Not all of it's bad, but we don't know the ratio of good to bad. We saw here, good water is 50 parts per million. This tap water, and the same as the electric, which is basically alkaline tap water, is almost 600 parts per million. So out of 600 parts per million, you got 550 of those that is more than likely some degree of contamination. So I hope we didn't get too technical. That basically wraps it up. I'll just leave you with this. I would ask you, who's in charge of your health? If you would answer your doctor or your health insurance company, let me ask you this. Do you ever contact them when you feel good? You ever make a doctor's appointment to tell them you feel great? They're in charge of sickness or the avoidance or treatment of sickness. As far as maintaining our health and wellness and being proactive, this is our responsibility. And unfortunately, it's not an easy thing to do, because if you follow all the advertisements and a lot of the recommendation of the food industry, conventional medicine, and all that, it may not be the best thing for you. It's our responsibility to be our own advocates. Now, good health and well-being is a combination of lifestyle, diet, good genetics, many, many things all rolled together. We're not saying you drink water, you're instantly going to be healthy, but it's a big, big, big part of it. And let me reiterate, 75 to 80% of our body is water. Everything in our cells goes in and goes out with water. Our food is digested with water. Why not make it the best water you can? Because if you've seen from these tests here, the water that's available to us in the mainstream is not what's best for us. Anyway, I hope I gave you something to think about as far as your own well-being. I hope this was entertaining enough and informative enough to give you some ideas of what we do, or at least get you asking questions, and hopefully it'll lead you on a path that you'll get some benefits from it, and we really hope that you can enjoy the benefits and quality of our products. So thank you very much.